Hi everybody, welcome back to long division practice. Using the Breuer preferred method, multiples of 10, multiples of 100, you know how to do this. So we are going to ramp it up a little bit today. It's going to be really exciting. You can do it, no problem. We're going to divide with the divisor of 2 because everybody knows they're 2's tables, so that'll make it a lot easier. So we think about 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8. And what I've written here would be the answer to 2 times 10, 2 times 20, 2 times 30, 2 times 40, etc. Rather than write out the whole problem, I'm thinking about what would the product be so that I can use that when I'm dividing by 2. Because the problem is going to have large numbers in the dividend, which is the middle number. So here we go. If we are dividing the number 45 into 2 groups, we want to know how many would be in each group, then we obviously are not going to be using a single digit. 2 times 9 is 18 is nowhere near 45. So we're going to have to be thinking about multiples of 10. When you look at your multiples of 10, which one comes closest to 45 without going over? 40. So how did we make 40? 2 times 2 is 4. We could put that in the thought bubble. That's what I would be thinking. 2 times 2 is 4, so 2 times 20 is 40. That's what I think when I do this problem. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 20 is 40. So that's what I would write. 2 times 20 is 40. And subtract. And now it does become a much easier problem when I say 2 times is 5. Well, 2 times isn't 5, but we can get pretty close. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. That'll probably seem pretty familiar. That's like a lot of the problems we've been doing the last couple of days, dividing with 3 and 4. So I hope that it was familiar, and I hope that it wasn't too hard for you to think about. So let's make it a little bit more challenging. And I hope that you have a pencil and paper. If you don't, stop the video so that you can do some writing with me. Or a crayon. Or a marker. Write on a bag. We're in quarantine. We might have to get really creative with what we're writing with and what we're writing on. That's okay. Let's divide the number 93 into 2 groups and find out how many would be in each group. So I know that 93 is much higher than 18. So I know that I'm going to be looking at multiples of 10. So I would think in my thought bubble, 2 times 9 is 18. Oh, sorry. I would be thinking 2 times what is close to 9. That's what I'd be thinking. 2 times what is close to 9. And then 2 times what is close to 90. That's what I'd be thinking. So 2 times what is close to 9. 2 times 4 is close to 9. So 2 times 4 is close to 9. 2 times 40 is close to 90. 2 times 40 is 80. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 40 is 80. 2 times 4 comes close to 9. 2 times 40 comes close to 90. When we subtract, we get 13. And now we can look here in the regular facts and find a number that I could multiply 2 times and be close to 13. We finish that problem up. What would it be? I bet you wrote 6. 2 times 6 is 12. Yep. That's right. And you'd have 1 left. So there were 2 groups, and we put 46 in each group with a remainder of 1. So the numbers get bigger, but really the process is the same, and you're doing really, really well. I can tell. Here's another one to practice. Don't freak out on me. I can hear you. Let's divide 126 into 2 equal groups. It's the same process. So we would say in our thought bubble, 2 times what will come close to 126? And we would not sit and count by our twos with our fingers. It would take forever. We would look at our multiples of 10 and we would say which one comes closest without going over. Because 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 60 is 120. Does that make sense? 2 times 60 is 120. 2 times 60 is 120. So even though the number was really, really large, all we had to do was look through our multiples of 10, 2 times 20 to get, 2 times 60 to get 120. And now when we subtract, we have 6 left. So we won't have a remainder today because there is a number that can multiply by 2 that will come out 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And when we subtract, we're done. So if you had 126 divided into 2 equal groups, there would be 63 in each group. Isn't that great? I know the numbers get big, but you can do it. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. All right, the last challenge for today. Let's divide the number 174 into 2 equal groups. We'll start by looking in the multiples of 10 to see which one is closest without going over. 2 times what comes close to 174 without going over? A lot of people would say 2 times what is close to 17. And that would help you to find the number that is closest to 174. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 80 is 160. 2 times 80 is 160. When I was your age, that's what I struggled with the most. How do you find the number? How do you know which one to use? So we think about our multiples of 10 and we find the number 160 and 180 and we say, well, this is the closest. 2 times 80 is 160. And then we subtract. And then we have a familiar fact here. 2 times, oh, look, I forgot it. It goes right in here. Did you already see that a long time ago? Were you going, Mrs. Breuer, you forgot? Well, 2 times 7 is 14. And there's no remainder. In this problem, we would have 87 in each group. If we had 174 in 2 equal groups, there'd be 87 in each group. 2 times 87 equals 174. It's good practice. You're doing great. So I'll put some problems for you to practice today in the assignment. Do your best. It's okay. You'll get this. All right, take care. Bye-bye.